Welcome back to the show, everybody. At the time of filming this episode, we had about 30 minutes left until the markets closed. Now, I don't expect too much to change in that time, but of course, if some of the data that happens at the end of the market is different to what you're seeing on screen, I'm sorry about that. I filmed it towards the later part of the day, as late as I could, but again, there may be some variation. At the time of filming, we're around 15.17, coming down to 15.15 now. I don't expect that to change too much towards the end of the day. I'm going to be looking at what we're seeing for the data as well, and I think that's key. So let's get into the main points which I wish to highlight. Now I'm going to start off over here. This is on the chartexchange.com where we can see this. We see, simply put, that AMC's off-exchange volume once more is very high. This off-exchange, it says a day percent is 60.25, which once more is more than half. And that is a considerable volume. It's stuff like this which is very key. And we once again have to keep asking ourselves why the data continues to be like this. Now, we know that this can lead to manipulation a lot more easy when off-exchange volume is so high, so we're not here to speak about that in vast detail in this episode, but I do think it is another one of those deplorable things which we are still seeing no change to. Now, moving back on to what we are seeing with the price action, we're going to quickly go over it on the simple chart, then look a bit more complex and detailed at the bigger chart. So what we're seeing here throughout the day is not too much at all. It really has been one of the most flat days that we have seen in a while, up by 0.09% according to Google. In the past 5 days, we are forming a nice trend, coming up slowly, but again, the past 2 days, if we start to look at that, we're seeing a little bit of a downtrend, if not a slight stagnation. Clearly, we had a little bit of a downtrend yesterday, but I think right now, as long as we can retain some growth today, that would be good. If not, I'm more than happy to see this one remain flat, which would be ideal. So I think, after the week that we have had, where we have seen a decent gain, to be fair, technically, we would be expecting a bit of a drop or at least some consolidation. I do think that AMC's situation is different to that, so it only applies to an extent. But technically, if we were looking for the trend, we would be expecting to see a pullback at some point. But I think really we are past that now. Because one thing that I keep mentioning, because it is so key, we're not talking about any other stock here. We're talking about AMC. So it's all well and good to talk about pullbacks, but realistically that implies that investors are selling. And with a company that is held in the majority by apes, by shareholders who refuse to sell, there's not really any excuse for the price to move down really at all. But what I'm trying to say here is we are still forming this nice trend upwards, don't forget that. I think we are getting ready for an explosive move, in my personal opinion. I think we have been for some time. Again, we're starting to see good things. For instance, we broke above 1478, which was a level that we had difficulty at not too long ago, and around back here as well. Now the next level that we're looking to break above and remain above for some time is going to be around the 1516 mark. Again, a close above that would be fantastic. And of course, above that we're looking for this high, which is at 1595, so around the $16 mark. And it has been true in the last few days, we have had difficulty getting through 16. We want to see us break through that again, ideally in the next few trading days. I think we are ready to see that again after a fairly boring day today. I think we are ready to see more movement upwards. And again, for the downside, the key level that we're looking to hold, especially into Friday, is going to be, of course, 15. So we want to close above 15 on Friday tomorrow, and ideally even above 16. I don't think it's too far off and too far out, the idea that we could close above the $16 mark, but again, it is going to take some work, so we will just have to see what happens. But yeah, I'm feeling fairly bullish about AMC. I think today has been another fairly flat, fairly boring day. Again, we may finish a little bit green, a little bit red. Either way, not really too key, because it's only by realistically a small percentage, if not even a fraction of a percentage. So I think that is what it's all been about, especially in the past few months. I've mentioned this before, and it becomes even more clear in the 3 or 6 month chart. The past 3 or 6 months haven't really been too interesting, especially the past, I would say, 4 out of 6 months. It's really been quite flat since the middle of May. So I think we're looking to really see that breakout, as I said, because not much has been going. We've been sat in this channel on the low end around $11, on the high end coming up to about 14. We've broken above that $14 mark now We're just waiting to see if we'll break above the next mark, which is going to be 16, so I'm looking for that again. Again, coming above that, we're looking to hopefully head back up to 20. It's going to be a path, but I think we are definitely still on the right tracks. So I want to hear what you have to think on the price section of AMC. Again, this one is more focused on that price section rather than the technicals, the short squeeze potential. We just do like to check in on the price section itself now and again. We'll be providing you guys with more data regarding the squeeze and all that sort of important info as we go on, but for now, it's a goodbye.